Nerd Squad. With the state of things as they are, with us needing to prioritize staying home as much as possible and staying safe, it's no surprise that comic-related events have been affected. Currently, there doesn't seem to be any facet of our daily lives that has not been touched by the global crisis. I mean, hey, look at me, I'm recording this on my couch at home. So, there's that. And when you need to go out, every service seems to have policies in place to help enforce social distancing. The bank, the grocery store, public transit. It's been a pretty wild experience so far. And when it comes to the world of comics and superheroes, we're also seeing massive ripples. Comic releases are pushed back, films are delayed, cons are canceled, and a lot of local comic shops have had to close their doors for the time being. Today we're going to take a look at some of the aspects of the world of comics that have been affected as we count down the top 10 superhero events shut down by the global crisis. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10, release dates. For comic series that you've been following, you may have noticed some dates for release are being pushed way back. The delay in being able to print affects a lot of comics. Although we do have the digital world of comic books, most people want their paper, and not all shops are operating right now. Fortunately, my local shop ships my pulls to me, but not every shop has been as lucky as mine, with many shops lamenting their lack of online presence as it is currently translating to zero options for business for them. Number 9, Comic-Con Museum. While Comic-Con Museum was not officially open yet, it still managed to be awfully busy. Comic-Con Museum is meant to be like a little bit of Comic-Con all year round, located in Balboa Park in San Diego. The Comic-Con Museum is slated to open in 2021, but it was still partnering with other groups and organizations to offer tons of events while people wait for the museum itself to open. Unfortunately, it has had to cancel any partnered events as a result of the global crisis. Most recently, this has included its planned event with Crossover, where comics and science meet, which this time around was set to focus on the world of pop culture and exploring the social science behind the horror film Get Out. Sounds like a fun event, actually. Sadly, can't happen right now. Number 8, Disney Plus. The launch of Disney Plus has had to be pushed back in certain countries who have yet to see the streaming service even released yet, including France and India. While France simply had the release date pushed back to April 7th, the release of India has been postponed indefinitely. Beyond that, Disney Plus's shows have also taken a hit in regards to productions having to be shut down. So far, Loki, WandaVision, and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier have all been announced as shows whose productions are currently being delayed as a result of the crisis. Not WandaVision, I was so excited. And Loki. Number 7, WonderCon and SDCC. WonderCon, which was supposed to happen on April 10th to April 12th, a large convention that celebrates many geeky fandoms and the world of comics, has had to be postponed as a result of the global virus. This convention is organized by Comic-Con International, leaving many to wonder about the state of Comic-Con International's other conventions, such as the very famous convention San Diego Comic-Con, also known as SDCC. The organization, however, has yet to make a statement as to whether or not SDCC will need to be postponed, simply saying that they are doing their best to comply with officials during this crisis, but that no decisions have yet to be made regarding the rescheduling of San Diego Comic-Con, which is supposed to take place this summer from July 23rd to 26th. But we'll have to wait and see if that still is the case. Stay tuned. Of course, if you really want to know, you can always give San Diego Comic-Con a follow on Twitter. Stay up to date. Number 6, Disney World closed. If you look into the history, this isn't at all the first time the Disney parks have had to even close worldwide since they've opened. Many natural disasters and national days of mourning have also caused the parks in the US to close before. Currently, though, this is expected to be one of the longer closures in their history. Disney World and Disneyland are currently closed, with the expectation that they likely won't reopen until sometime in April or sometime in May. Imagine you lose quite a bit of money when you don't have a theme park open, but you have to probably still pay for the space and such. Number 5, CW's Arrowverse. CW is stuck in a loop of reruns after they had to shut down productions for current Arrowverse shows, including The Flash, Batwoman, and Supergirl. And while Legends of Tomorrow has completed filming its 5th season, the show is still experiencing delays in regards to air dates. As a result, CW have been forced to reshuffle their network's lineup in terms of their channel schedule, and are focusing on playing reruns of the shows that have already concluded, as well as rerunning their Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event. So if you missed any of that, go check it out. Number 4, Wonder Woman 1984. It looks like we'll have to wait a bit longer for our next installment of Wonder Woman. Movie theater closures as well as shutdowns for productions and post-production for films have likely resulted in this delay to Warner Brothers and DC's film Wonder Woman 1984. The original date of release was supposed to be June 5th, but has now been moved to August 14th as of March 24th. So we gotta wait a couple more months for that Wonder Woman, that good. Number 3, Black Widow. MCU film Black Widow hasn't just been delayed, it has been delayed indefinitely. I know, what? With no date in sight as to when we could possibly see it. We don't know when it's gonna come out. Will it come out? I mean, it probably will. It's been filmed. Actor David Harbour, who plays Red Guardian in the film, suggested while playfully participating in a Q&A on Instagram Live that it actually might be fun for the film to be released digitally instead to avoid delays, but also added that the decision would be above his pay grade, obviously, so he doesn't make those calls. Black Widow was originally supposed to be released on April 29th in theaters, or May 1st, depending on where you'd be watching it from. I think May 1st is the UK, so. Number 2, DC's 5G. Number 2, DC's 5G. While Legion of Superheroes number 5 was recently released, which hinted at the plot for DC's 5G crossover event to come, it remains uncertain as to what is going on within the company when it comes to, well, just about anything right now. Printing has come to a halt for many comic book publishers, leaving us to ponder what will end up happening to the soft relaunch known as DC's 5G event. Or, I mean, they don't want us to call it a reboot or a relaunch, but sort of is. And while it hasn't been at all officially shut down or canceled, DC hasn't commented much on the state of things internally, leaving many to speculate this event might be pushed back or perhaps canceled completely, or at least pushed back indefinitely. We'll see what happens. Number 1, Diamond Distribution. Some titles from smaller publishers, like Ahoy Comics, have been affected, as well as titles at major publishers Marvel and DC, by this major disruption in the ebb and flow of comic production. Major comic distributor Diamond has announced that they are ceasing shipments for any new product to retailers until the crisis has passed, so odds are good we'll only see more delays when it comes to new issue releases as a result, at least when it comes to paper production. If you're new to the world of comics, this might not seem like a huge deal. I mean, we all still have digital comics, right? Yes, a lot of publishers are still releasing new issues of titles digitally, but many comic book fans and collectors don't do digital. Paper is actually way bigger in this industry. So for many, the news of a major distribution shutdown probably feels apocalyptic. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. I hope you found this list informative and it didn't bum you out too much. Although there are a lot of scary delays that we are facing in the world of superheroes and comic books, remember, don't panic. Hold on to that towel. Now is a great time to revisit comics that you love or explore something new to you that has actually been around for a very long time. You can watch Deadpool on repeat, or you could just literally watch all of the MCU movies. By then, you should have waited long enough for this whole thing to blow over. There is also tons of new stuff being released digitally when it comes to early film releases and comic books, so it might be a good time to try the world of digital. What are some titles that you feel like you are missing out on? What are some titles that you are currently revisiting? How have you been affected by the global crisis in regards to your favorite fandoms? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Mutant Powers No One Understands. Kenneth Dixon comments, Love Eyes sounds like a slippery slope to Star Fox. Informed consent. Yeesh, yeah, it does. Fortunately, they managed to save face a bit when Dupe explained that it was just the way that he shows affection, but his whole kidnapping of Kitty Pryde to basically make her go on a date with him after proposing to her is, well, it's pretty cringy when you think about it. Jablack Jam says, thanks Amanda and Top 10 Nerd staff. In the midst of the times in the world, you all stay entertaining the fans. Aw, thank you for watching. We are all in this together, and I think it's important during this time for us to all come together and support one another. Hope you are hanging in there and that you are staying safe, my friend. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts and feels shouted out in a future video. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host, Amanda McKnight. Till next time, you keep staying nerdy, you two.